Hey, what's going on again? It's Joey Myers from lead-generation-SEO-services.com and the Lead Generation Strategies podcast. In this video, we're going to talk about how to rank on the number one or on the first page of Google using backlinks. So backlinks are a very powerful tool. As your site gets more content and gets more seasoning, we want to start to bring backlinks into the picture. Think about your content as the bricks if you're building a building, and the backlinks as the mortar or the glue that keeps the bricks from falling apart or gives it that reinforcement into the search engines. So we want to treat backlinks or Google sees backlinks as like a credibility indicator. The more backlinks, the more credible that site looks, the higher up they're going to rank that site, and the more likelihood you're going to show up on the first page of Google. So number one thing is content. Content is king. Content is first. So we always want to focus on creating content. Now, if you have a site out there like the hitting site here that you see that has a lot of content already, now we're ahead of the game. There's plenty of seasoning going on depending on how many years that site or that domain has been live and has been producing content, and you've been putting content on it. The more seasoning, the better is what Google sees it as. So if we don't have a lot of content yet and we have to create content, and we can do that in one of different ways. I've mentioned it in a video before that was one of the content videos, how to rank on Google. We can either repost somebody else's content, we can either hire somebody at someplace like textbroker.com, or we can write it ourselves. We can do it yourself. I suggested the method of doing a video or a podcast, having it transcribed so you got the content side of it. And then, so we have the video, we have the content, and we have the audio as well. So that's an easy way that you can create some content on your own, that you're not spending days and days trying to think up what you're trying to do. So those are ways to create content. Now, when it comes to backlinks, if you don't have a lot of content, it's not as wise. It's a little bit more, it's not a waste of money, but it is a waste of money to do the backlinks at that point. We could do citations. Citations, there's three different categories of backlinks. So you have citations, number one, which are directories, basically. Then you have your backlinks themselves, and they got to be quality. So we don't want these backlink farms where they'll promise you 1,000 backlinks for $10 or whatever. You get what you pay for. So you want to make sure that you're getting quality backlinks to your site, depending on where your niche is. So you have citations, backlinks, and then you have guest posting. Guest posting is awesome because you want to find a site that has a better credibility rating than you do. To get a guest post on their site, they get a link back, and we always prearrange that with certain keywords and things in the links that they're going to be linking back to your site. So we get that link juice from them. So you get some of their credibility to your site as well. It's a little bit more seasoning. Again, a little bit more mortar in and around the bricks to hold everything together like a glue. So those are the three main ones. What I wanted to show you is you can go to Ahrefs.com, I think, ahrefs.com/backlink checker. And if you just type into Google Ahrefs backlink checker, then it'll come up. This is an example of the Hitting Performance Lab site, and as you can see, you have backlink profile for hittingperformancelab.com. You can see domain rating is 18, which is decent. It's not one of the best out there. It's ranked anywhere between 800,000 to 1.2 million, I think, on Alexa.com. But Alexa.com now is no more. They're not doing that anymore, I guess, ranking websites. But that's about where it would rank. It's in the baseball softball niche. So it's not like in the financial market or the health and fitness or anything like that. And so that will also factor into where that site is ranked. You can see how many backlinks that we have here, 4,223. The percentage of do follows, which are good. The no follows are the ones you don't really get the link juice from that. That would be like you putting a link on Facebook. You know, your social media profile, you're not going to get a follow from you're going to get a no follow from Facebook. So you won't get their link juice. being that they're you got Google's #1 site, YouTube, Facebook's up there is 3, 4, or 5 or something like that. So you're not going to get their link juice. Referring domains, you can see 720 there. So it looks pretty good. And then you can go through and you can look at all the different link backs that we have going here. We do a lot of podcasts. We get some podcast linking and all that kind of stuff. And if we compare and contrast that with one of our newer sites that we're starting to do content for and starting to do some backlinking, which is the best gold companies to invest in.com, you can see the domain rating much different, 18 versus 0.1. And you can see the backlinks, 4223 versus 288, 10% do follows. And then you can see the referring domain 720 and 65. So you can see how that affects the domain rating based on the backlinks. So the more backlinks, the better, right? So again, you can go through this and you got your backlinks. So you can put your site in here, see how your backlinks fare, and you can look at just as a diagnostic tool where you're at there. But backlinking is important. But even more important is the content. And I mentioned in a prior video, I think the part 1 of ranking #1 on Google, about the write and rank method, where we can take your initial homepage, which could be 500 to 750 words, and then we do some keyword research of competitors, and then we blow that up to about 3,500 to 4,000 words. All these keywords that we're trying to rank for, bottom of funnel stuff, mixed in to that homepage. That is the content that Google loves, #1, and then that content is going to get linked out, #2, as you start to do your backlinking stuff. More sites are going to want to link to you because you're actually providing content that is useful and is valuable. These 500-word sites where you think you're giving them just a little blurb here or there, and you're expecting people to find you, it's not going to happen. Google wants you to give value first. So they want you to provide for their readers, and by doing that, it's going to rank you higher. So that's why the write and rank method and backlinks are really, really good. And what we're seeing in a lot of the preliminary research and data and studies of the write and ranks versus the websites that are not done, and the backlinks, as we compare and contrast, the write and rank method of doing that is actually as good, if not better, than backlinks alone. But if you combine both, now that's when the magic happens. And that's what we do in every one of our plans, every one of our monthly plans, whether it's the lower version versus the higher version, we're doing that to some degree on there. We're ratcheting it up a little bit more in the higher plan, and we're having a little bit more of a basic model, but we're doing all this stuff, combining all efforts to do that. So I hope this video was helpful. If you got any questions, please reach out, follow us on any of the socials, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video.